As time goes on, Nomthandazo's mother finally arrived back home. Excitement bubbled within Nomthandazo. Her mother's name was Sindisiwe Biela. Like mother, like daughter, resembles were drawn in their faces. You could tell she was her mother. Having both important people in her life around her, Nomthandazo's face was filled with so much joy. However, it took a turn when they asked her to go play outside for a moment. A conversation clearly too serious for little ears. Nomthandazo noticed them closing the door behind her as she stepped outside. An hour passed as she played restlessly under the sun while waiting eagerly for them to let her back inside. When they finally opened the door, she caught the change in the atmosphere. A heavy silence enveloped. Whatever they were discussing, it wasn't good news at all. Her mother's eyes had turned red. She was definitely crying. While her grandmother is visibly pissed, she couldn't even look at her. She walked straight to the kitchen house. Nomthandazo stood frozen, visibly showing her confused face. Her mother looked at her while trying to put herself together with a smile. She approached and knelt before her, gave a gentle kiss on her forehead. Mashezi often said that whenever she laid eyes on Nomthandazo, she saw a reflection of her own daughter, Sindisiwe. You might be wondering why they share a surname. Nomthandazo carries her mother's surname, which has become quite common lately. However, this situation weighs on Nomthandazo as she knows little about her father. And every time when she tried to ask her mother about him, Sindisiwe became angry. Perhaps the truth was something Nomthandazo wasn't ready for. Nevertheless, let's dive into her story. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Sindisiwe called Nomthandazo inside the last house. It was just the two of them in here, a familiar setting for Nomthandazo, but today felt different. She sensed a heavy worry hanging in the air. Since her recent changes have begun, she have grown an ability to sense a lot of things before even told. Sindisiwe took a deep breath and forced a smile on her face, she trying by all means to be strong for this. She gently asked her daughter of what is troubling her so deeply, mentioning that Granny had filled her in on some of the recent events. Nomthandazo didn't know how to respond. She met her mother's gaze briefly before looking away. That silence struck Sindisiwe hard. She could no longer hold back the tears that welled in her eyes. In that moment, a decision formed in Sindisiwe's heart, one she wasn't entirely prepared for. Maybe it is time Nomthandazo knows about her father's side. Not even looking directly at her daughter, she softly said, "It's okay, sweetie. I'm sorry I haven't talked to you about your father. I understand how difficult this must be for you. If you truly want to know, we can go there tomorrow. I'll tell you everything." Yet as those words hung in the air, Nomthandazo shifted closer and took her mother's hand. "No," she replied firmly but gently. "I don't want to go there or knows anything that you don't want me to know, Mom. I'm happy here with you and Granny." A wave of relief washed over Sindisiwe as tears brimmed in her eyes once more. This time, they were tears of gratitude and understanding. She pulled Nomthandazo into her and rested her head on her chest. A cherished moment between them. Nestled against her mother's warm heartbeat felt comforting for Nomthandazo, yet she is overshadowed by questions swirling in her mind. What had happened between my parents that brought my mom so much pain? Why does she keep me from knowing him? Even though it seemed like my decision relieved Mom's burden, making her happy, would it bring me joy too? Ultimately, if it makes my mother happy, then I will always choose that. After all, she means everything to me.